It's hard to explain because there's way too much that goes on in your head that you try to grasp and put it all together at the same time without forgetting any details of the bits and pieces that constantly runs through your head day in and day out, where it's pieces of the puzzle that get put together. If you can just record it and put it all down on paper and get it every single thought, it would make it a lot easier to explain things. So when you push record, you try to remember what it is that the reason why it gave you a desire to push record, because whatever it is that you're thinking about keeps lining up with things. So the people that don't believe in God, it's just simply the ones that turn back, they know what it's like, because it's like an original peaceful thought feeling that you go with. The enemy inside of you speaks a different language and eggs you on and runs you and puts you in fear and uses other people to collaborate together and have like a game plan and do the same thing. It's a mindset. And when you figure out what the mindset is, you realize it's only you against yourself, and you're in this world by yourself. You just happen to be coming across different people on this planet because of this thing that you're doing on this YouTube channel. And that's just the reality of it. That's actual reality right now. And there's many different ideas as to what can happen, what's going to happen, who's what and who's who. But when you go back to your first true love, it'll be more of a great feeling, because you went, it's like knowing good and evil and then going back. The reason why people have a hard time believing in God, because they don't understand how he can allow things to happen. Yeah, he agrees with you. He doesn't understand why people blame him for everything and says that he allows everything to happen when it's on you to prevent things from happening. And stop blaming people for allowing stuff to happen. When they finally kick that spirit out of them, when they finally kick it out of you, out of your own, like when you're done warring with your own spirit, then you realize what God is just a now living in the moment mindset, which is right now, and severing all future worries, all past thoughts of anything that has a negative impact that brings you down. You just steer away from it, and when you see it coming, you can now just, you can watch it go right by, and you don't have to focus in on it. You don't have to hop aboard and go for a ride. It's just thoughts are basically like vehicles coming at you. Here's your thought coming up. You see it. It's a worry about the future of something or another, but you can't seem to take, and then it's gone. What were you worried about? I don't know. Who cares, right? So basically what you do is you just forget your thought. As soon as you can forget your thought and just, I'm not thinking of that, it goes away. You live in a moment. You can ride waves of positive energy. You can ride waves of negative. You can be filled with pride. You just don't want to let people get away with things when you allow them to go in the direction they have to go, because you know that there's an ending and there's a wall. And they eventually hit the wall because you hit the wall beforehand. So you can see it coming. It's a wall too. Those thoughts as well, cars driving at you. But you can see it. It's a wall. They hit the wall. And then they realize God was just trying to give them the heads up that the wall is right there, and you have a short period of time until you hit it. So as a driving instructor, you'd want to let people know you gotta push the brake, because you're getting close to that wall, and if you don't slow down in time, you're going to hit the wall. How bad is it going to hurt? It depends on how much your foot is either still on the gas or over on the brake. If you're willing to let off the gas and push the brake, and before you hit the wall, you're gonna have a better chance of surviving. If you have it full throttle and you just ain't going for anything, you're going to hit that wall really hard, and it can be life-changing. It's all about the heads up. I've learned from experience that out of those 4 times that I went to jail, and every time I was on about 5 Xanax the night before, stealing something when I didn't even have to, and then waking up in jail and then praying to God, I'm sorry God, I won't do it anymore, no more Xanax, I promise. I broke that promise 4 times in the same year. And one time, I remember I said that, and I went home, and after I got bailed out, and then I seen a Xanax on the ground, and I just like picked up, I'm like, and then I felt, after I did, I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute, what did I just do? Because my flesh was just at it. It just did not think at all. My brain seen it, was just like, pop it. And I remembered sitting in the jail cell, looking at the mirror, crying like a punk, because this wasn't when I was in there the last time. This was right around the first time. And I remember like crying because I wasn't actually sincere. Obviously, because I popped it in my mouth like the Xanax that was just on the floor that could have been found by my 2-year-old son. I've had feelings that I shouldn't do what I was doing as I was doing it, and then next thing you know, well, a few hours later, when I wake up in the jail cell, I did what I wasn't supposed to do. My gut feeling, my original thought of peace, without the anger, because the anger is what leads to taking the Xanax, because you want to calm down. It's just a whole thing. And everything's amplified with Xanax. But that first thought is what got me in there without thinking at all, without having no conscience, having it seared with hot iron. But when you hear something telling you it's not the right way to go, and you don't listen, and then you find out why that what was trying to communicate with you that you were ignoring, that you say God doesn't exist, was God trying to exist in your life, giving you the heads up in your own spirit. God is in your own spirit, everybody, or God is in everybody. But are you listening to him or not? That's all. That's all it is. It's not about one God. It's about, that is the spirit, that is the voice of God that you get used to hearing, because it's just, we all have the same sounds, but how do you hear it? When you start to stop doing the old things and you learn your lesson, you realize that's what God is. God is the right decision. Do the right thing. That's what God is. Knowing, you know what's right and wrong. Even if you don't know what good and evil is, you still know what right and wrong is. In your heart, your true feeling, the law of God's written on your heart from birth. But a lot of people don't even believe in God because God doesn't do anything for you. God is a feeling. Once you accomplish something and you're able to cast out anything that bothers you day in and day out, that's what God is. God is that wave energy of settledness. You're just settled, you're good. It doesn't matter what people say, it doesn't matter the threats, it doesn't matter subliminal messages. When you know that you've already gotten your message through to those that need to get it through to, it doesn't matter who trickles underneath of those up there. Whatever they say down here, it pertains to nothing, because that's all that they're told from up here, and it just goes down there, and nobody, the wicked, will not understand. It starts at the top, and then they have to collaborate and figure how to do it and how to relay a message to everybody in a safe way. That way people don't do anything stupid. So all I try to do is, hey, don't, I mean, if you go, you probably don't want to do that, but I think you have to find out on your own why you shouldn't go and do that. And then you learn your lesson. So I learned my lesson sitting in the jail cell and then getting out and then relapsing and then doing it again and again. And then finally, for the last time, at least on my doing, I learned what not to do, because I started to stop listening to that first thought that just pops in your head, and you just think it's who you are. You're not realizing it is half of you, but that's your dumb you. There's a smart you and a dumb you. I've listened to my dumb side a lot growing up, because I was ignoring the God that the spirit that was trying to speak through me so I can straighten up. You only hear that when you're sitting in prison and you're trying to just pass time some way without going literally insane. So how do you do that? I did the classes and all that stuff. I did the programs. I tried to figure out what even though I had the anxiety of people, but I knew that I needed to start communicating about this to people that I feel uncomfortable with. And it just goes to different levels now. Now it's at another level. But it's practice, and it's easier now because I've learned how to communicate with people, even by just communicating in the level of the other level. There's talking to people, and then there's talking to certain individuals. And usually each individual knows who they are. And you can't really say out loud, because who even knows anyway what the hell you're talking about? I just say enjoy it while this part lasts. I know there's a lot of fear, and it's hard for people to really believe that anything's going to actually change. But you just have faith and just wait for it. I mean, I really didn't want to go and shop right. I think I even said it. I really don't feel like doing this, but it's necessary, because yeah, it's pretty disrespectful how I was treated in there. And I feel like it needs to be situated a little bit better, the result in the end. The main thing is the doors open up and those signs go, and people are allowed to go in there by choice. That's the main objective. But I didn't feel like doing it, but I realized I had to, to set that example and then just wait for it. So I don't know what's going to come of it because I've never been through this before. But it's a good sign that they said that they found them in violation of the fifth, on the regulations there that they broke, and they need to find a remedy within 30 days. It's something. It's something. It's worth the effort that I put in to that store to go there that day, knowing that I'm going to get harassed because I went in the day before, or no, I mean the same, a little bit earlier, and they were following me around, or maybe it was the day before, I forget. I bought a ham in there. And a lot of times I drew off because I had the, in the beginning of the video, I was talking about something completely different. And then that's what happens. When you have all these thoughts, you want to remember them, but you have a gazillion, trillion more that you're trying to organize. So it's hard to organize these thoughts in your head. And when you have the ability to focus and listen to only one voice, it makes it easier to organize the folders of topics in your head. Your computer, your head, it's a computer. You got folders of topics that you want to pull each folder out. You want to pull each folder out as if things are written. That's why people write scripts. I understand why you write scripts, because basically that's what it is. When you're trying to just do it off script, it's harder to organize your thoughts. And then that goes all the way to learning your lesson, because people don't believe in God because they are not listening to God that's trying to communicate with them from birth. God is trying to communicate with every person that's ever born, as they're born, from birth. But it's so much easier to listen to the out-of-control spirit, the one that's just like, because it's easier. You get taken away. It's harder to listen to the one that takes more discipline. It's harder to listen to the spirit that's telling you to fast. Don't eat. Don't eat today. Don't eat tomorrow. Don't eat for a couple of days. Why would you want to listen to that spirit? It's telling you to starve to death. So people can look at it like that. Like, I'm not listening. I want you to die. Yeah, to yourself. So these are those thoughts that run through your head. They run through my head. I mean, I'm just trying to explain these thoughts that run through my head, how I've caught on to them and stopped it, and then rolled it open like that to show what it actually is in as great detail as I possibly can do it, so you can understand that your thoughts are your own, and you are your own worst enemy. You're your own best friend. You can make yourself feel great throughout the day. You can make yourself feel like absolute crap. You can get so tied up in other people's business. You can get offended with stuff. You can be easily offended. Or you can just let words go where they need to go in the air. Whoever catches them, catches them. If people believe certain things about you that it doesn't matter if it's true or not, who cares? Why do you care so much? What people believe. All you can do is present your case with whatever it is that you got, and then leave in God's hands, step off, come back later. Three months later, you'll see a letter in the mail that says, basically, yes, Mr. Robin Tees, because of the hard work that you put in and that long paragraph about exactly what happened in great detail at the ShopRite Super Center, we found them in violation of the the freaking Constitution. They violated it because of your letter that we just read, and we don't have any proof, but man, he sure seems convincing as to what happened. Why would you make a story up like that? They are absolutely guilty, and you're saying you have evidence of it with, like, video recording? All right, do you want a job too? I mean, I've never seen the. Who do you work for? No, I just want the doors open, and I mean, I don't mind having like 144 acres, and I would love to retire and then do greater works than that, because I'll be relaxed. I don't have to go to work, waste my time. I said that 2021 is going to be the year that I'm going to focus on getting stores open. I don't know where the video is, but obviously it was before this year started. And so it's a start, because all I do is I open the door, and whatever is just out. I'm not stopping it, so, because I could do the exact opposite. I can allow the other spirit to go and do the same thing, and it's just constantly flowing. People have that ability too. I've learned to listen and hear both sides of the story. The only thing I try to help people with is, you know, that first thought that's so easy to run with, that Satan embeds into you? Just think twice about that thought, and get a second opinion. Like, go to the spirit that you say doesn't exist inside of you. Go to that one and do the exact opposite of what that first initial thought was. Just do the exact opposite, and then do those exercises, whatever it is. Just even if it's you're walking and you're stepping over, if you have OCD and you want to step over the crack, this time step on the crack. Just do it. You'll feel a separation of, like, your magnetic force, and then you'll want to just step over it one more. You'll want to back up and then step over it just to get that feeling. It's just all trap. It doesn't matter. It's a way of controlling you. That's it. Controlling your mind. It's a spirit. It's not. I'm not your enemy. You're not my enemy. It's the spirit that's running in the airwaves that I'm trying to catch, and I'm trying to, like, take a snap picture of something that's invisible and turn it and show you, like, look what I just found. This is the freaking critter that's been weaving in and out of our brains and making us do shit that we don't want to do. There it is. Here it is. Look. Just trying to catch it and show you the picture, the HD picture that I took of something that's invisible, that now you can see it. Look, here's your enemy. Basically, it would be like a picture of yourself. It's a picture of a mirror that shines your reflection. Sometimes I can relate to people. Sometimes people can relate to what I'm saying. Sometimes it's off-the-wall stuff that I know what I feel like I'm saying, and others do, but there's so many different spirits that you can focus on. Because throughout my YouTube channel, I have people commenting, I have people making videos, people talking, communicating. There's so many different ways I can look at things, and then I can just look at it through my eyes. In the moment now, that's it. Just in the moment now, taking what I've learned with me. It ain't luggage. It's a great feeling of accomplishing more and more, where these pieces of the puzzle are getting put together. And I take that, and then I take my surfboard, and then I hop on that wave that I see, and it just keeps going in that same direction. You do what you can do. Leave it in God's hands, which is you cannot control anything, so stop thinking about it. That's leaving it in God's hands. That you don't believe in God? Well, do that. And then you'll understand that that's God, the Spirit, talking, trying to get you to let things go so you can just stop worrying about yourself and enjoy your life, stupid. That's it. It's all it is. It's all it is. And can you imagine the people that run this planet that have just, you can do whatever you want. At any point in time. Like, if you really wanted that Camaro over there, you just hop in it and drive it. It's like, it's yours. Yeah. No, you can't have nice things. Jesus never had nice things. He was a poor, broke bum. Nobody even, I don't know why people would follow him around, broke and hungry. Well, did you ever think that maybe he wasn't even literally around any of them? It was more of a communication than anything else? That he wasn't actually walking around physically with people side by side, hand in hand? Of course, no. Nobody wants to think of reality. Think of the reality of it. The reality. Walking on water. And nobody can do that. You can't walk on that. You'll sink. God is the Spirit that's trying to talk through you to get you to just be yourself. Be yourself. Do what you want to do and stop worrying about what the fear tactics are. None of the fear tactics can work anymore because it's been revealed what it is. It only works for those that can't see, and they have to go all the way to the very end. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. You got to learn the hard way. Get stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Shall lead them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And you shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And you shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in that day that I shall take.
It's only to those that hear his name. The ones that know his name and they hear his voice. It's the other spirit inside of you. And you've been looking for God your entire life, but yet God is within side of the spirit that has been there from birth, that has always been trying to get your attention. But you can't see that until you go through. Sometimes people they never find out who God is because they die miserable. They die blaming other people for their life, always having grudges, easily angered. This is what that spirit is. It's the agitation. If you're easily agitated, why? Who are you listening to? Who's telling you to get aggravated? Who's telling you these things? And then it's the same thing as who told you were naked? Who told you that? Like who's telling you to be self-conscious about it? Because, well, who told you? Maybe you know that people can see you naked, but maybe you have your clothes on and you say, I don't know what you're talking about. You can't see nothing. But yet you're naked, miserable, poor, wretched. But it doesn't make any sense because I'm rich as hell, damn it. I ain't naked. I got mink fur coats on. I damn sure ain't poor. I ain't miserable. I got all the money in the world. I just don't have any happiness. Hey, I'm not miserable. It's not that I'm miserable. I'm just not happy. All right. So what? So what if you're happier than me and you might have like 300 hours left over in your bank account each month, Robin? So what? At least you make it. Because you can change just like that too. Your whole mindset can change. And you can have all the goods in the world. And then it's like, wow, I got all the goods in the world. And why do I need everything? I don't need to hoard all this stuff. Here. What do you want? Here. Everybody gets their choice of, the guy gets the choice of whatever truck that he desires to have in his life and whatever car that he desires to have. And you get it. You get it. And then the wife, you get an SUV if you want, whatever choice, and you get your car, whichever one you want. As a husband and a wife, whatever type of house you want is what you just pick it out. How many people do you have to take care of? 144,000, that's it? Maybe 288, because there's the other group the other group is the one, it's the other group. We're all being lied to, so. But when they all come together, you get a house wherever you want to live. And you get to drive whatever you want to drive. Oh man, the way that these hypocrite pastors try to act like you're not supposed to enjoy life, and that's vanity or something. And then most of the time they actually do the same thing. But even the ones that wholeheartedly believe that's fine. I mean, if that's the way you feel in your life, and you don't ever want to drive a brand new car and experience the joy of just doing that, and you want to deny and act like it doesn't feel good to live in a nice fancy house, but you don't have to do anything evil to get it, and you earned it. Like when you go into ShopRite and you get harassed and persecuted straight from the gate, and the cops get called on you, and you were just about ready to get handcuffed, Robin, just for doing what? Going in the store like you always have your entire life. And that's where we're at. All right. Is this the way to retirement? All I got to do is keep doing what I've been doing, and I get rewarded for it because now I have like almost a badge. It's technically a badge. I mean, to be honest, like if anybody gives me a problem with going into a store, I already found ShopRite in violation of our constitutional rights by the Pennsylvania governor. So it's like, this is a kind of a badge that